One team gears up for its opening fixture, the other already finds itself in a must-win territory. The Asia Cup began just 4 days ago and is a short tournament with just 6 teams participating, which has left Bangladesh staring at the prospect of elimination while Afghanistan are just about to be getting started. Well, all the spotlight so far has been on the India-Pakistan rivalry, but the Afghanistan and the Bangladesh are also capable of producing a spicy contest. Well, on a Sunday morning spicy contest. The pressure, though, will squarely be on Bangladesh, who looked rusty in their opening game, and the batters, barring Najibul Hossain, Shanto, looked feeble, and the bowlers failed to put in the sustained pressure. Well, we have two of the eminent guests joining me. One from London, David Brooks, and Christopher Mofofu, the legendary fast bowler who bowled alongside Heath Streak for Zimbabwe and played for Zimbabwe for 15-odd years. Welcome both gentlemen joining me on a Sunday morning. Well, let me start with David Brooks, who's the former director of Channel 4 UK. India has been playing 50-over games in the Asia Cup in the home condition, and certainly it's like a big dress rehearsal. Do you think that it'll be a 3 Asian team or a 4 Asian teams going into the World Cup? Is it like a big advantage for Team India as they walk into the World Cup? Let's look at a macro issue. David, your answer.
It's pretty much ideal timing, isn't it, for the participants in the Asia Cup in terms of preparation for the ICC World Cup. You couldn't have a better preparation and a very competitive ODI tournament. It surely boosts the confidence of all the nations playing in the Asia Cup. It sets them up perfectly in terms of preparation for the World Cup, and in contrast to some of their rivals.
Well, the defending champion, when you look at it, now that the India-Pakistan match has been washed out, the points are square, and I mean, let's take a step back. The defending champions, your country, England, have been playing T20, the hundreds, and few inconsequential T20 matches in the bilateral series. Do you think defending champions England hasn't trained as much as they should have been, considering they are the defending World Cup champions?
Well, England World Cup holders, of course, less than ideal preparation. Most of their players in the squad will have been playing in the 100-ball tournament over the last month. At the same time that was going on, there was also the 50-over domestic competition that was relegated to effectively a second 11. So all this current squad won't have played 50-over competition, just 4 matches against New Zealand before coming here, but nothing in the domestic agenda, despite the fact that England are defending their World Cup title. So less than ideal preparation. They could be cruising for a bruising and maybe up against much better prepared opposition.
Well,
Harry Brook, there's one or two question marks about the selection as well, with Harry Brook a notable omission from the World Cup squad. Surely there must be a way of getting him in before that World Cup starts at the beginning of October.
Well, very interesting, as you said, that we are talking about cruising and bruising. Of course, England has been inconsistent, but nevertheless, let's shift our focus to the Indian-Pakistan match. The match yesterday do you see some similarity between the Ashes and the cricket match between India and Pakistan? Because it's high voltage, high decibel, the fans go frenzy. I'm sure you saw when India-Pakistan matches happen in any part of the world, all 80% of the stadium is taken in by both the fans. Your views on the new simmering up of the rivalry between the two and its juxtaposition with the Ashes, David?
Well, we've had a fantastic Ashes series this summer. It's got the whole nation talking about cricket and all the on-field, off-the-field incidents, and the Bazball versus the more traditional approach from Australia. 2-2 that series was. Could have gone either way. But it pulls into insignificance, I think, next to the India-Pakistan competitive rivalry. Intense competition, heightened by the fact that this is one area where the two nations do compete and do so with a great cricketing spirit that ties them together. So, yeah, India-Pakistan, what a game to look forward to.
Well, that was David Brooks who joined us early morning from London talking about the macro view of the India-Pakistan clash, how important it is to one part of the world. Similarly, now let's shift our focus to the other part of the world, which is Africa, Zimbabwe, of course. We've got a legendary cricketer, Christopher Mufofo, yes, Mufofo as we pronounce it, talking about yesterday's match, and since he's the seamer with the speed, seam and swing, let's understand from it. Christopher, if you can hear us, how was the pitch and how did it play according to you?
I think comparing the the bowlers from both sides, Pakistan and India, I'll still say at the moment, I'll say Pakistan have got the better edge in terms of their bowlers, feeling that most of them have been playing at the moment. And then when you look at India, the best bowler, who's normally Jasprit Bumrah, just came from an injury. Yes, we saw him bowling well against Ireland, but that makes a huge difference that he hasn't played quite a lot of games after a long time. And you look at the Pakistan bowling side, you've got Haris Rauf, you've got Shaheen Shah, you've got Nasim Shah also. So for me, I think at the moment I'll say Pakistan have got the better bowling lineup in terms of their fast bowlers. We've been doing quite well lately. And for India, yes, we've seen Hardik Pandya taking the new ball lately, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes tomorrow, if he's going to use the new ball, if he's going to bowl early. He's someone that has been bowling quite well also for India. Yes, we've got Mohammad Siraj also. So, I think they're almost the same, but I'll still, give it to Pakistan in terms of bowling at the moment.
Well, we've spoken about Shaheen Shah Afridi for a long time, but yesterday what we saw was that he was a bowler with a great sight. He was swinging the ball and he was hitting the deck pretty fast. But isn't it a great sight when you have two of the best quality batters in the world and they get bowled out? Do you think the Pakistan team would have been with their tails up further in the tournament and also run up to the World Cup, considering playing against India and bowling out Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma? Do you think it was one of the better moves and it'll help them in their confidence, especially Shaheen Shah Afridi? Your views, Christopher?
Generally, I thought the pitch played very well. We need to give credit to the Pakistan bowlers. I thought Nasim Shah bowled quite well at the same time, but credit goes all the way to Shaheen, who really rattled the top order for Pakistan. So I still thought the pitch was quite good, and you need to give credit where it's due. I thought the guy swung the ball very well and bowled at good pace, and I think it's something that we can look and say he's got the edge over Rohit in this game. And starting from the World Cup that passed a few years ago, we saw how good he can to right-handers, and he proved it today, by taking those top order wickets. So I still felt like the wicket was good, but the Pakistani bowlers really ran in and did the job very well.
Thank you, Christopher, for taking us in the mind of a bowler. But at the same time, let's look at how India made a quick comeback in the longer format of the game. Remember, India were 4 wickets down at 66. Do you think that the recovery of Team India was phenomenal, considering that they had lost the best 4 batters? They were in the hut and chilling their heels, and at the same time, you had one youngster playing in the open along with Hardik Pandya. Your views?
Yeah, you said it right. It's a great sight to bowl quality batters out, and we talk about Virat, you talk about Rohit Sharma, you're talking about world-class batters that for you to go through that defense, for me, that's pretty amazing. And the way he managed to swing the ball at pace and to get those, at the same time, I was just looking at in the afternoon that they know what is coming, but it's a different case in terms of playing what is coming your way. So I still think Shaheen really bowled well, and it is a great sight to see those stumps flying off the ground, and That's one thing that he did very well, and I still think, like I said before the game, that Shaheen is gonna play a major factor. And I felt like, you know, the Pakistan bowlers were going to be a threat to the Indian side, but still, you know, credit to how those guys came back, Pandya and Ishan. So you still give credit to that.
Well, before we wrap up our show on a Sunday morning, Chris, I would like to ask you a hypothetically question. You know, if the match was complete, do you feel India would have lost, or 266 was a defendable total, according to you? Let's bite the bullet.
Yeah, I really love the recovery from the Indian side. You know, that never say die attitude. How they definitely came back, and, you know, being 66 for 4, it's a really a place where you don't want to be as a betting side. And to see how Hardik came through, and Ishan Kishan, you know, despite the situation, he still remained the Ishan Kishan that we know, positive intent. You know, he didn't back down from whatever situation that was happening at the same time. So I really love the way they came back, how they fought hard, and you know, it's good to see that, you know, that team has got a lot of guys who you can still depend on. You know, they bet all the way, and even their bowlers, you still back them to do well. So it was good to see that, you know, they never said that we're down already. They kept on fighting, and to see an inning like Ishan Kishan was one, and Pandya having a 100 partnership, it was great to see.
Well, that was Christopher Mufofu, the former fast bowler from Zimbabwe, talking to us about the match yesterday, talking about his views, and of course David Brooks, who joined us from London to talk about how India-Pakistan clash excites a fan not only in India subcontinent but the fans across the world.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.